Welcome back to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. Once more, we have Mona Chopra. Mona is, as our special guest, Mona is a licensed acupuncturist, a birth doula. She has so many dimensions to her. I'm not even going to begin to explain each of her roles. Birth doula, Mona, correct me if I missed anything, please fill me in. You're an acupuncturist, a hypnotherapist, a yoga therapist, and a birth doula. Is there anything else? Because I'm looking at your card. No, yes, you're a beautiful person. Yeah. Now, nutritional therapies. Do you also share nutritional tips with
I do. As part of Chinese medicine.
Okay.
The food we take in is probably one of the number one ways to change a person's health. So definitely look at what people are eating and give guidelines and suggestions for what they can improve, what they can eat more of or less of, maybe some supplements.
So when they come to your clinic at 118 East 37th Street, between Lexington and Park, when they come to your clinic, what do you call it, a clinic or a chamber?
I call it a clinic or office clinic.
Yeah. When they come to your clinic, do you also give them nutritional tips?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you
so many ailments, if someone wants to say someone, for example, is having digestive issues and they say like, oh, can you cure me or heal me with acupuncture alone, but I want to keep eating fast food. It's not going to happen.
That's right.
So I always like to look at what is a person eating, and sometimes that's the remedy, and that's it.
It's just the food.
So it's just the food. So I always ask people to keep a food journal, bring it when they come in, and then may make some suggestions.
Right. So we're putting all the fast food giants out of business. Oops.
Oops.
Yeah, there goes the sponsorship. Right. There goes the sponsorship. Well, you know what? I think an individual's health is so much more important, but it's okay once in a while if they want to have fast foods, that's fine.
Sure.
But I think we all need to be aware of what we're putting into our body. I know I constantly tell my friends, I talk to people, and I have fish every now and then as well, but I keep thinking to myself, why would anyone, and I don't want to put down anybody, if you're eating meat, that's fine, that's okay, it's just a question that pops up in my mind all the time. Why would I want to put a dead creature into a living body? And it's fine. If someone wants to take meat and you've grown up, eating meat all the time, it's that much harder to give up. But for me, it was a little easier, even though, I grew up eating vegetables. I didn't actually grow up eating meat. So for me, it was easier to give up because in between, somewhere around in my 20s, late 20s, early 30s, we were actually eating all the white meats anyway, fish, prawns, and chicken. Now, I'm just curious because I want to know, having given those up, have I given up anything in my nutritional chart? Can I make it up with anything else?
I think the main thing, if someone is purely vegetarian, is just to make sure that you are really having enough vitamin B12 and iron would be like...
No fun taking it in
the main thing.
Capsules.
So, and B12 really, it just comes from animal products, but it seems like we need it, and the question is always asked, people who historically were vegetarian, like how come they didn't all get sick?
What does B12 do?
And it's helpful for so many different things. It plays a huge role in our energy level, in our mood balancing and our nervous system. If you're very B12 deficient, you might begin to have tingling and numbness. That would be already getting to an extreme.
Right.
But as if you're not eating any of those, any meat at all, then I would, including not eggs, I would say you just need to really be cautious about that. I would tell every vegetarian to take B12 and check your hemoglobin. Make sure you're not anemic, because some people who are vegetarian are not quite sure how to balance and what to eat, and they become anemic.
So are there foods, are there vegetarian foods that have B12 in them?
As far as I know, there's
Because I know
not.
for energy you can take foods with iron, right? Greens, leafy greens.
Leafy greens, yes. What I will say is the absorption of iron from that is maybe like 10 times more difficult than if you were to eat, say, red meat. So you can get it. There are some vegetarian sources of iron. It's just the absorption is much less. But there are many vegetarians who never become anemic. They're just getting it through the balance of foods in their diet.
Sure. Okay.
B12, I'm not so sure if there's vegetarian sources of B12.
Right. Oh, it's good to know. It's good to know what I could be missing out on by not taking meat. But I only had white meat anyway, so they didn't have much of B12, did they? Or does white meat
I don't
have that?
think so.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure there. Yeah.
That's all right. I have enough energy anyway to keep going. So what do you have planned for me today, Mona?
Okay, so just picking up on what we had worked with last time, we were focusing on the hips, the sacrum, the lower back. Today, just getting to something more of an internal functioning of the body.
Okay.
Our digestion, and what seems to be, speaking of fast food, a very common ailment in our society, constipation.
Right.
It seems to just be extremely prevalent, and people are regularly popping fiber pills and taking Metamucil like as a daily
money wasted out there.
thing. And really, as you know, there's just by practicing certain postures and getting energy to move and circulate through certain regions of our body, we can really facilitate that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's also a breathing technique for that.
And breathing techniques, exactly.
Okay, well, I'm ready.
Okay, so we're gonna start actually.
In case, while we are getting into position, in case you're wondering why both of us look taller today, we're sitting on these blocks, and the reason for that, it helps get the torso up, which helps the breathing. So you can bring your torso up by sitting on a brick, brings your knees down, you're connecting with the earth, and at the same time you're giving yourself enough room on the top to breathe right. So
it just tilts the pelvis forward a little bit, which just lets the whole spine lift up much more easily.
I love the way you explain everything.
Okay.
So, what do we do?
Thank you, Banu. Okay, so we're going to start here in a kneeling position, like so.
Oh, I thought I could continue to look tall. All right.
And if this position is challenging for your knees, doesn't feel good for you, you're not used to sitting like this and it just doesn't feel good for you, you can just join us when we come to the next position, which is going to be standing on the knees like this. But we're going to start here and doing a little sequence here. The whole idea is focusing on exhale. In this practice, we're going to do a lot of focus on strengthening our exhale, our ability to hold the breath after exhale, even move once we've held the breath after exhaling. Okay. So beginning here, hands at the sides, we're going to inhale and stand up onto our knees, open the chest, and take a stretch back. Exhale, you're going to sweep the arms down around the sides of the body as you drop the body forward, folding over your body. Then you're going to inhale, sweep the arms back up. So they're straight up and looking up. And exhale, come back to the starting position. Hands come down the sides. Feel your leg muscles working too in order to do this. So we're going to do another repetition. Inhale, lifting up. Arch the back, look up. Exhale, sweeping the arms down the sides. If the head can touch the ground, great. If not, get a block, a blanket to just rest that head down. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, come back to the starting position. Now we're going to do it once and stay in the last posture. Inhale, sweep the arms up. down the sides of the body. And then here we're going to stay for 3 breaths. As you stay here, can you focus on a longer exhale? Let the inhale happen, but put all your attentiveness on the exhale, and at the end of your exhale, can you exhale a little bit more? You'll feel your abdominal muscles contracting, being very engaged as you exhale a little bit more. So all that stuff that might be stuck there is just getting squeezed. The intestines are getting squeezed here. And then you can slowly roll yourself to come and sit up. And then slowly come to stand. And we're going to activate a similar region of our body, but from a standing position. Again, our focus is on the long, deep exhale. So you're going to stand with your feet hip-width apart.
Do you want to come forward?
Yes,
So
okay.
I don't hit you.
Great, okay. And we're going to inhale, raise the arms up the front. Exhale, fold forward. And now hold your breath for 2 seconds if you're comfortable after exhaling. 1, 2, inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. So just gradually getting accustomed to what it means to hold the breath after we've let all the breath out, or most of the breath out, on our exhale. So we're going to do it again and stay for a few more seconds. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Folding at the hips, let the knees bend so that you really are contracting that lower abdomen, keeping that belly compressed. Holding the breath here for 4 seconds. Holding the breath out of the body for 4 seconds. And then inhale, sweep up. And exhale, lower down. So Banu, if we had all the time in the world, again, we'd do this at least 8 times.
8 times, okay.
But today we'll stop there and we'll move into the next posture.
I have a question.
Yes.
After we exhale completely,
Yes.
why am I holding my breath?
Okay, so holding the breath there creates an even stronger energetic impact on the lower abdominal region once the air is held out.
So I just make sure that it stays steady and nice and firm, the lower abdominal region, after I get all the breath out.
Exactly. And let's just actually do it one more time with this, even a slight variation, different instruction. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Once you've gotten to the end of your exhale, hold the exhale out and draw the belly in towards the spine even more. And then, when you're ready, inhaling, coming up. Opening the chest, exhaling, lowering the arms down.
Since you gave me that explanation, I think I was a little more aware of what I was doing, and I found I was able to inhale deeper after holding my breath. Is that helpful?
That's very, very helpful.
For the body? Okay.
It's very, very helpful.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
so it does improve lung power then, in a way, right?
It does.
Strengthens us. Okay.
Exactly. And I just think that was such a good metaphor. I'm always looking for the metaphors in all of this, which is that the more we can let go, the more we can receive. So the more we can exhale.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The more you're actually able to take in.
Receive more,
But when we keep holding on to things, we're just not open to receive something new. So
very nicely explained.
Okay,
Maybe I should. You're going to use instructions like left hand, right hand, or shall I mirror what you're doing? I could turn around. I could turn around. I just need to see what you're doing.
Oh, then I'll face this.
That's it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And let's each take a block and just have it in front of us.
Did you steal mine?
I think I did. So here the feet are wide enough so that you feel like you have a nice opening here in your hips, but not too wide that you feel unsteady. So we're going to begin by inhaling our arms up and out. And just to make sure we're aligned properly here, exhale, drop the tailbone down towards the ground and lift the head up towards the ceiling. And then on your next exhale, we're going to twist and bring the right hand down towards this block. Let the palm touch the block. So if you need to have the block tall like this so that you don't compress in your chest, that's totally fine. And elongate the left arm up towards the ceiling, getting a nice twist in the lower part of the body. And then we're going to inhale, come back to center. We're going to do it dynamically a couple of times and then hold. Exhale to the other side. So that left hand now is resting on either the floor or a block, and your right arm is reaching up towards the ceiling. You're twisting in the lower part of your body. You're also twisting in the upper part of your body. You're looking up towards your hand. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. And really make sure that your chest is rotated up towards the ceiling. So you don't want to compress in your chest in order to reach your hand towards the ground. So just make sure that you're keeping this integrity in your spine. You're keeping the chest nice and open as you reach that left hand up towards the ceiling. And if the neck feels strained at all, you can look down at your right hand. Otherwise, you can look up towards your left. And we're going to stay for a couple of breaths here. Inhaling, coming up. And we'll move to the other side. And once again here, making sure your chest, you can imagine that you had a light that was in the center of your sternum, your breastbone, that had to shine up towards the ceiling. That's the directionality that you're thinking of your chest going here. Keeping your breath nice and long, and then on an inhale, coming back to center, and exhale. Now we're going to take it up a notch even further to stimulate the intestines even more. We're going to exhale here and move after the exhale. Move on the hold. You're going to move while your breath is held out of the body. So taking a deep, deep breath. Exhale fully. Contract that abdomen as you exhale, and then twist. When you're ready, inhale to center. Exhale here. Exhale all the air out, contract the abdomen, and twist on the hold. And then when you're ready, come back up to center on an inhale. And exhale, lower the arms. And then just as as a counter pose to doing all the twisting, inhale the arms up the front. Exhale, fold at the hips and then fold all the way down. So if you're comfortable with your hands on the ground, great. If you need to use a block, use a block. If you're flexible and your head can touch the ground even, go for it there. Just remember your tailbone is reaching up towards the ceiling. And you're feeling a nice long stretch in the hamstring muscles, the backs of the legs. You're also compressing the abdomen here. And like all forward bends, it's very relaxing to the nervous system to do such a posture. And notice how, as you stay with each successive exhale, you're able to just sink a little bit deeper down into this posture. Slowly coming out of it, straighten your elbows if they were bent. Just heel toe your feet together until your feet are about hip width apart and you're dangling down over your legs. Inhale, bend your knees slightly as you come to standing, reaching your arms up. Let the palms touch. And then bringing everything back to the center. As you exhale, lower the hands down, the midline of the body, letting them rest at the center of the chest. Just take a moment here in the standing posture to rest and assess. Rest and assess. Where are you at right now? What's happening in your body, your breath, your mind? All yoga is part of what it is about, really, is self-study, self-awareness, which is, of course, a prerequisite for self-transformation. So just noticing what's happening now. And then you can release your hands. So come on, how are you doing, Mona?
That was intense, but I liked it. I found, or maybe it was just the angle of the mat over the rug, but I found this leg seemed to stretch a little more, possibly because I was going a little over on the side.
It could be that, but often a person will have one leg that's stronger or more flexible
Maybe
than
one
the
leg
other.
is shorter too.
And you could have one leg shorter too, absolutely.
Oops, I have to go home and check now.
That's true. Even subtle imbalances can create a real different type of sensation.
I do notice that in my footwear, and we talk about it. We help our viewers understand that too every now and then. We check our footwear, we see which impresses deeper, we know where we're putting more weight.
Exactly.
Which leg.
Exactly, and it could be coming from the hips. Maybe the leg itself, the bones are not longer, but the hip could be up on
Moving
one side.
on one side.
So
That's what
actually...
happens when you carry handbags, right? One shoulder goes up.
Exactly. People who have developed scoliosis from carrying a heavy bag on one side, actually it just is a question of things having gone out of alignment, which you actually through yoga and other means can really readjust. Yeah. Okay, so
looking forward to it. So how many postures more have we got?
Okay, we'll come on to let's lay on our backs now.
Heads to the table. I'm going to keep this away from you. You're going to steal it again.
We were given our 5-minute warning.
Yes. So we have about 3 now.
Okay. And having both your legs straight, then bend your right knee.
Okay.
And lift that foot up off the ground. And I'm going to just move a bit so we don't bump into each other. You're going to have your arms outstretched.
Up there. Okay.
So the arms are about shoulder height, and they're outstretched. And then let that right leg come up off the ground. And we're going to come into a laying twist here. Inhale. Exhale. Bring that right leg to the left side as your head rolls to the right side.
What about my left foot? Stays upright?
And your left foot can roll at this point.
Okay.
good question.
Because right now I don't have a choice. It is rolling.
It's rolling. That's completely
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
And then just use your left hand to gently stroke from the hip towards the knee, from the hip along the outside of the leg towards the knee. Gently stroke, giving a little pressure, a little gentle suggestion to that leg to relax and release a little bit more. And if this is too intense, if this just feels like, you know what, this is not in my range today, all you have to do is bend the bottom leg, and it softens it up a bit. So if you bend that bottom leg, it just softens it up a bit. And that's completely fine and extremely beneficial as well. And then you can let that left arm reach out to the side again. So now while we're in this position, I'll just show, because it's one of my favorites for opening up the upper back. From this position, inhale here. Exhale, bring the right arm all the way over so that it meets the left, as if you were closing a book. And then inhale, open that arm up. Keeping the lower body relatively stable. Exhale, close that book, close the hands.
I like the analogy, like opening a book.
And now open that book wide, sweeping that arm. You're really opening up all the channels of your arm, upper body, the chest, the upper back. Okay, and now from this position, you're going to come back to center, inhaling the legs back to center. Straighten out that right leg. Keep the left knee bent. Bring that left leg in towards the body, lifting that left foot up off the ground. Arms are outstretched. Inhaling here. And exhaling, bring the left leg towards the right as your head rolls towards the left. And then once again, as you did on the other side, let that right hand just gently massage, gently stroke from the left hip down the outside of the leg to meet the knee, just gently suggesting that it could release a little bit more. Sometimes even just the simplest little touch gives a reminder, a suggestion to the body that it can let go even a little bit more. And then again, if this feels too intense, just bend that bottom knee, and that takes the intensity down a bit. And then let that right arm reach out to the side again. And then as we did on the other side, working with the upper body, opening the chest, opening the upper back. Inhale here. And exhale, bring that left hand and arm over, to meet the right. Let the hands touch. And then inhale, open wide. And again, exhaling, close that book. Inhaling, open wide. We'll stay here for one more breath. And then coming back to center. Have both knees bent. Take hold of both knees with both hands now. As a counter pose, you can rock from side to side. It's gonna feel what's gonna feel natural to you. Make little circles. Exactly. We're on the same page, Manu, you and I.
It feels good.
It feels good. You're just giving yourself a little massage here for the lower back and sacrum and hips, yes, but also for the intestine.